Hey everybody, welcome back to another Posh Design tutorial. Today I'm going to show you very quickly how to create this viral trending lined notebook paper that has like a transparency effect, like a faded effect to it. It's trending right now. I know it's been around for a long time and a lot of people have done this before, but just like with every other trend, it comes and it goes, right? So right now, this is trending on social media, and I posted this kit in my group, just the ones that I did off the top of my head, and I was encouraging the group members to just, think outside of the box, come up with something different other than just putting a photo on lined paper. There's so many different themes that you can do with this trend. You can do letters to heaven, Dear Daddy. I did a whole grief kit for children using this Dear Daddy one. A Dear Santa letter with your child's picture on it. You could sell that. That's really big seller for the holidays. So this kit is on my website, and I also posted it in my group. But I realize we do have a lot of beginners as well. This is a grief kit, by the way. It just has activity sheets and a Dear Daddy letter. Anything else you want to add to it, you can. I realize we have a lot of beginners and a lot of people are unsure how to even get the technique of the faded line paper. So I'm going to show you that today. If you're not a beginner in Canva, then this video is probably not for you. You're probably way beyond this. I'm just going to be showing you how to get that faded lined paper effect and how I added my photo, etc., etc. So I'm working on an 8.5 by 11 inch blank background, okay? And I have Canva Pro. If you do not have Canva Pro, you can still use free elements, but I'm going to be using the Pro element today. Or you can just get a lined sheet of paper using ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT to create you one, get one online, anywhere. Okay, you don't have to have Pro to do this. So I'm just going to go into elements and I'm going to grab this lined paper. Okay, you could also go down to the bottom and click on Design. And in the template section, you could type in lined paper. Okay, and there's a bunch here that you can use. So I'm just grabbing this one here. Again, I'm working with 8.5 by 11 inch. I'm going to stretch it out here like that. You could leave it with the blue and the red standard lined paper colors. You could also go over to filters and, make it black and white if you wanted to. There's a purple, there's a green, there's all sorts of different things that you can do. For now, I'm just going to leave it on its regular standard colors, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're just going to go down to the bottom where it says transparency, or this menu may also be on the side, depending on what device you're working on. I'm on my phone. So transparency, and you're just going to bring it down, between 30 and 40, somewhere in there, even a little less if you want, into the 20s. Just depends on how faded you want it to be, okay? So you could do something like that. And then I'm going to grab a photo. This was a photo I used earlier for my example. I'm just going to remove the background. This is just a stock photo. And same thing here, I'm going to go down to transparency and I'm going to bring it down probably right about there. Now, this is personal preference, but you see how when you bring the transparency of your photo down, you can also see the lines going through the photo. Some people that they don't care about that, and that's just fine. But I went into elements and I typed in the word white gradient, and I grabbed this one. It's just a blur. It's kind of hard to see. Okay, it's just a white blur. And what I did is I just placed it right behind him by going to position, and I hit backward once. And that just sort of blurs out the lines a little bit better, okay? Just makes it a little bit, not so much lines going through their face type thing. And then you could add even a heavenly background, which I also did for this one. You go into elements and you just type in heaven or heavenly, okay? And click on photos and you see there's all these different ones here, right? Pick any one that you want to use, or maybe you already have one that you like to use. I'm going to just use this one, and I'm going to drag it like this, just, you know, to the full capacity of your page. And I'm going to go ahead and send it backwards, and also go down to transparency and bring that way down so that the lines are visible, okay? Personal preference on how much transparency you want, so you just play around with it. But the whole technique of this is just to put your lined paper and your photo, and if you have a background or any other elements you want on there, and the only thing you have to do is just go over to transparency on the bottom, and you just bring it down. It's just transparency, that's all it is. Okay, and then I added at the top, I added text, and I just put Dear Daddy. Okay, and I used a script font. You could make it any color you want. Like, let's say you want it to be blue. And then again, transparency, you're just going to bring it down. You can put it at the top as a header, wherever you want. Okay, very easy to do. This particular one, if you look at my mock-up here, I made it so where you can kind of see this is more of a kit. It's a letter, Dear Daddy, for, you know, geared towards a child, but it can be for anybody. So you're writing a letter to your dad that has passed over. It's sort of like a grief kit. Then there's some activity sheets here, thought clouds where you can write down your thoughts. There's a coloring page. So you can really expand on this trend to the point where you're making little kits. And they're great sellers. People love stationery. They love writing letters. And then if you target it towards something more specific, like grief or memorial or holidays, like the letter to Santa, then you know, are niching it down to where it's more focused, and then that's even better. So that's really it for the technique. This is like one of those things where the possibilities are endless. I hope this inspired you to create your own kits and stationery. This one is up on my website if you guys are interested in it. I will link that down below in the description box. But that's it, you guys. It's just all about adding a photo, maybe a few elements in a background, and bringing the gradient down. It's literally like a two-step process. And then a lot of people ask about printing. If you're just doing like single sheets, I would just print on normal regular copy paper. You could hole punch it and put it in a binder. Some people laminate the sheets, and they will get like dry erase markers and make it to where, you know, like for children, for example, they can use the marker and then erase it, and it's like a reusable thing. Some people make full-blown journals and notebooks, and they have like, they get the crafting equipment on Amazon and they bind the pages together, and a lot of people just go all out with it, and it's such a fun activity. But you could just sell it as a digital file as well. You don't even have to make a physical product. So again, possibilities are endless. Hopefully this sparked your creative juices to start flowing. And I would love to see what you guys create. If you're in my Facebook group, feel free to drop your work in the group. If not, that's also linked in the description below. Feel free to join. It's a free group. We have a lot of fun in there, and I hope you guys join and show us all of your creations. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye.